Hi, everybody. It's Tamara from Moogly, and with any luck, today we are live. It is December 18th, 2024, and exactly 1 week until both Christmas and Hanukkah this year. So I hope you are all having a wonderful holiday season, whatever you're celebrating, and that, your crochet and knit projects are almost done, if not done all the way, and that you found some cute IOUs for those that aren't going to be finished in time. This is going to be our last live, of course, before the holidays, the last one on these channels, I should say. I've got, let me see, one more scheduled on TikTok on the Your Inspirations page. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But like I say, this is going to be our last one before the holidays here on the Facebook and YouTube channel here on Moogly. But I will be back before the year ends to talk about Moogly Crochet Along 2025. So now that I've yammered for a couple minutes, hopefully everybody's had a chance to join us. Hi, thank you so much, Kathleen and Shannon and Loria and Julia, and everybody else who's watching. Please don't forget to hit that heart button, the like button, wherever you're watching from. It really helps us out, and I really appreciate it. So let's get to it. What's been happening on Moogly and what's coming up? Well, of course, the big thing I think most people are talking about right now is Moogly Crochet Along 2024 and Moogly Crochet Along 2025. At least the threads I've been reading. I've been seeing some gorgeous, really beautiful Afghans come together in the group. As always, I'm always blown away by everybody's creativity and their gorgeous touches, the borders, the joins, everything is amazing as usual. And I really love how unique it makes everybody's projects. Now, I just finished mine up. I guess it would have been this weekend. I haven't had a chance even to take pictures of it yet. I did do a flat braid join for mine, and I made a very simple border this year, just a couple rounds of single crochet. Because my blanket was a stash buster, it had a lot of colors going on, and I just wanted to keep the border super duper simple. I think it gives it a neat perforated look. So I actually managed to weave in all the ends, but like I said, I haven't taken any pictures yet, so I can go ahead and show it to you today. I've tried to leave myself enough room to get up with, so I'll shout into the microphone a little bit here so I can hold this up and you can see a little sneak peek at least of my finished one for 2024. So here we go. Let me hold it up here. And of course, it's going to be just sort of a random corner, but you can see I've joined all my squares together. Trying to back up a little bit more here. You can see it's really, I think it came together really beautifully. All the squares are on there. I don't know if I'll get them all on camera here. I'll try and hold them up. Really beautiful. And here is a closer look at that join. I'm going to try and bring that in a little closer here to the camera. Well, of course, then right in the middle of a square. Where it is. There it is. There is that flat braid join I used. I love the way it turns out at the corners. Let me find a corner to hold up. Isn't that pretty? I just love that lacy look. And this is really a great technique for when you've got squares like this with different stitch counts for the last round. Makes it very easy to adjust. So this is my very simple border. I just kept going with the white. I did a round of single crochet working into those spaces and stitches that were left over from my join, and then just another round of single crochet. It actually almost gives it sort of a, I've been calling it a perforated look, like you could punch the blanket out of the border. But I really like it. It's very simple, and I think it really just sets off the squares themselves and lets them shine. Now, that said, let me put this down, pull my chair back in a little bit so I have somewhere to sit. Now, that said, I have put together a huge list of different joins and things and shared those inside the list of joins, I should say, is on the blog. I'm out of breath from lifting all that up. The borders and edgings, I put together a list that is in the Crochet Along group, and I will be adding them to the Moogly Crochet Along 2025 post. Whew, okay, that blanket, if you've made those, realize they end up being a little bit heavy by the time you're finished. So very warm, very cozy. But there is a good amount of yarn in there. So it is not a super lightweight blanket. But it is all finished for 2024. You've got the rest of the month to go ahead and finish it up. You can turn it into one blanket like I did, 2 smaller blankets, 12 pillows, whatever you want to do with them. And then we will kick off Moogly Crochet Along 2025 next year. The big announcement post, the big announcement day where I've actually laid it out and taken some photos will be December 31st. So I will be back live with you New Year's Eve, December 31st, back at 11 a.m., right where we are now, to talk about Moogly Crochet Along 2025. And that's going to be another year-long crochet along, basically exact same as the previous years. I think we found the right formula. Every 2 weeks, a brand new square, starting in January, ending the Wednesday before American Thanksgiving. So, if you need to look at a post about it, you can look at the post in the meantime, the post from 2023, 2024. It's going to be pretty much the same. I've just updated it. I added the links to the, what should we call it, the borders and edgings. Those words aren't coming to me today. And what else? I, of course, had to change the dates because the calendar moves around on us, right? So the dates are off by 1 or 2 days, but it's still going to be the same schedule. Thursdays, every 2 weeks, a brand new designer, 24 designs total. If you've done it before, then you know how it goes. If you haven't done it before, it is a very easy and casual crochet along to join in on, and you can learn a whole lot. So I'm very excited to be bringing that back for 2025. Oh my gosh, thank you. Yes, Shannon said perfect weighted blanket. I don't know if it's officially weighted. I'm not sure how exactly heavy it has to be, but it's not a super lightweight blanket, that is for sure. One of the rules I give the designers is that it can't be super lacy, because we want them to blend together, but it also can't be super thick because, again, we want them to all blend together a little bit. So that is, fingers crossed, what we get. And I think they've really gotten the hang of it. Oh, it's over here. In the past couple years, and I'm really, really pleased and really excited for our next round in 2025. I will be using my Red Heart with Love stash again. You can kind of see it up here. It's getting smaller, but I want to try to continue whittling that down. Like most of you, I have a whole lot of yarn stash on hand, and so now that we're a few years into this crochet along, I'm trying to use up what I've got in new and creative ways. I think next year I'll be focusing more on the jewel tones that I have left, so we'll see how that turns out. I'm excited to do another stash one for 2025. Of course, if you prefer not to use Red Heart with Love, you can use Karen 1 pound or whatever. Red Heart Super Saver would be great. Any worsted or medium weight. I recommend acrylics because with a blanket, you want to be able to wash it, dry it, let the kids and the dogs use it. If you want to make a beautiful version out of like something like a superwash merino, that would also be gorgeous. Definitely a little bit more care for sure. That would be, probably not for the dogs and the kids, but it would be really lovely as well. And of course, some people prefer to use different weights of yarn altogether, especially over in the UK, where DK weight is, I believe, a little bit more common. And then you end up with 10-inch squares instead of 12-inch squares. So very doable. Might just make a few more squares to make a bigger blanket. Lots of fun, very easy to join in, and I hope to see you there next year. Whew. All right. So in the meantime, what else has been happening? Of course, new patterns on Moogly. Now, you probably see the bear peeking out of this box right here. The bear squish now has not only a free pattern, but video tutorials. Again, I made the polar bear, but if you're looking for a teddy bear, all you need to do is switch over to brown yarn. Super simple pattern. Love the squish, and I'm loving seeing all the really cute versions out there that you guys have been making. So thank you for that too. What else? We have a series of 3 patterns coming out this week. We've got 2 already and another one coming tomorrow. Yesterday, well, actually, I should start with Monday. Monday was our acorn ornament right here. And when I was writing up this post, I kept thinking, why? Why do we make acorn ornaments, right? Other than the obvious that they hang from a tree. And it turns out acorns are kind of one of those symbols of rebirth and good luck, especially like in Germany, which is, I think, where sort of the Christmas tree tradition came from. And so I think the acorn is a really sweet symbol, actually, to hang on your tree or use as a present topper or whatever. I made these using Bernat Maker Minis, so I get cute little ones. This one includes just a little bit of stuffing, but you could use, leftover little bits of yarn if you'd prefer. And then I took a couple more colors of those Maker Minis, and this is the one that came out yesterday. This is our peppermint candy ornament. You can see it's just about, believe it or not, this is about 2 inches wide. It doesn't look it, but it is very cute. You can see that's the back and that's the front. I think this one turned out really well. This one is done in only 3 rounds. So this is definitely the quickest of the 3, for sure. 3 rounds, you don't need any stuffing. The shape itself comes from the stitches. So I love this one. I just love the way this one comes together. I think these would be really cute on garlands too, all kinds of things. And then a little sneak peek for the one coming tomorrow. Of course, it's Moogly. I had to make a little octopus. So there we go. Now, I will admit this one reminds me a little bit of a scrubbing bubble. Anybody else who grew up with the scrubbing bubbles as a kid? I loved those commercials when I was a kid. I used to beg my mom to get that particular toilet cleaner. Apparently, it's stuck in my brain somewhere, and as I was crocheting this octopus, he's got a little bit of a hint of that look to him, but I think he's still really cute. And he's got these great corkscrew tentacles that are really fun. So I think he's a really fun guy. This one does take, as you can see, safety eyes, but you could embroider on eyes if you want to. No stuffing. He's completely hollow. So nice and lightweight. Oops. You could, of course, use this as a really cute little topper for a wine bottle or something as well. So this one is a great one to do double duty there too. So lots of fun ornaments on Moogly this week. I hope you guys like though. Thank you guys. Thank you, Shannon. Yeah, it's they're really fun, and again, all with those Bernat Maker minis. So if you've got a bag of those or you're making amigurumi, you can use those for your Christmas ornaments as well. I know that Sarah from Repeat Crafter Me also had some really cute little guys that you can make with that yarn. So be sure to check those out as well. Let's see, what else? Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. Our new blanket on Moogly. This one is not a crochet along. This is the Corner to Corner Tunisian Pixel Blanket. And this one is featuring Bernat Blanket Perfect Phasing. So this is why I've got my chair pushed so far back today, so I can keep standing up and showing you guys all these cool blankets. So this one is a pattern that I came up with. I was playing around with Tunisian. I wanted to do something with Tunisian, but I didn't want to have to break out special Tunisian gear. You know, I wanted it to be done on a regular hook if you had the right hook size and a regular hook. And I just really wanted to play with the color gradient that you get with Bernat Blanket Perfect Phasing. So here is an example. Here's another one. I brought up a couple colors to show you guys. And you can see it's what they call a perfect gradient, perfect phasing. It starts in the middle dark and goes light out towards the end, or the outside, I should say. And it's not pieced together. You know, there's not like a dark color tied to a lighter color. It is a gradient that goes throughout. So I really wanted to show that off. And if you know me, if you've been following me and my designs for a while, you know I hate weaving in extra ends. I'm going to, if I have to cut an end, I'm going to put that end to use if I can. You know, I'm going to use it to do the sewing. I'm going to make it work for me. So I wanted to work on Tunisian. I wanted to work short rows of Tunisian, like I say, that would fit on a regular sized hook. And I wanted to really show off the gradient in this yarn, and I wanted to avoid breaking ends. I wanted to avoid breaking the yarn before we needed to. So I kept playing with it, and I came up with a way to do corner to corner, checkerboard oriented Tunisian entrelac without breaking the yarn. It's a lot of words, and you can see that's why I didn't name the blanket that. But that's essentially what it is. It's a way of working Tunisian so that we don't have to break the yarn. We don't always just have one side of the fabric facing us. We go ahead and use the wrong side of the Tunisian fabric as our right side, and we create a truly reversible fabric. And the neat thing is it creates a basket weave look without having to change stitches. Now, officially, a basket weave crochet pattern requires that you change stitches to create that, but you don't have to change your stitch. We work one stitch throughout. It's just the way the pattern works. So let me hold it up for you. Here we have it. This is the Tunisian, let me find the end, Tunisian corner to corner pixel blanket. And this is worked continuously, no sewing. The only time we break the yarn and add a new one is because we've run out of yarn. We've actually run out of yarn, or we've decided we've worked enough blocks with that. We don't have another one for a whole block. And go ahead, set the rest of that skein aside and add the new skein. So I've had a lot of people saying, well, how do you do all the color changes? I don't. It's all done inside the yarn itself. So if you look closely, let me see if I can bring it a bit closer to the camera again here. Do you see how these lines are all running up and down, right? When I turn it around, now the lines are all running horizontal. And that is an effect of the stitching. Let me look at it closely here for myself. This is the right side, and officially, this is the wrong side. But in Tunisian, that's a big deal. Generally speaking, Tunisian, you're not supposed to do the wrong side of the fabric. I've broken the rules. That's why I keep calling this my rule-breaking blanket. We're not breaking the yarn. We're not working all from one side, and the wrong side, quote unquote, of the Tunisian does show. But I think in this blanket, it works, and I think it gives it a really lovely effect. So for the border of this one, we just did a round of single crochet. I think it was 2 rounds of single crochet, actually, and then a round of twisted single crochet, which I think gives it a really nice texture along the edge here, and really, again, continues to show off the beauty of this yarn. So let me carefully pull it back here and put it on top of our other one so I don't make a huge mess. And yeah, so this one is up now too. I am just so excited by this technique. I think some people are probably going to be a little bit mad about it, but I like it. I think it looks really beautiful. I don't think there's anything wrong with the wrong side of the Tunisian fabric. And I think it's a great way to enjoy both the yarn and the stitches. There's only 7 loops on your hook at a time while you're making that blanket the whole time. And there is a full video tutorial where I go over how to increase, how to maintain your block count, how to decrease. If you've worked a corner to corner crochet pattern before, the corner to corner block stitch, then you are really well placed to try this, even if you haven't tried Tunisian before. I think you're really going to enjoy it. I think it is a great beginner pattern in a lot of ways too. All right. Whew. All right, let me pull in my chair a little bit more here. I think we're done holding up huge blankets, so I can actually get the chair up under me a little bit. Oh, thank you so much, Shannon. I love this comment from Shannon. She mentions Minecraft, and I've gotten a couple comments about that. I think that blanket, it's over here now. I think that blanket is perfect for like Minecraft or anything pixelated. If you wanted to make a picture with the pixels and, solid colors of yarn, you absolutely could do that, just like you do any larger pixel blanket. But of course, you're going to have these really great, big, bold blocks of color. So I think it's a lot of fun. I used purple, but there are so many gorgeous colors. A Bernat blanket, perfect phasing to choose from. There's the purple I used. It's actually called Dark Orchid. That is the colorway that I used for mine. And I used 5 skeins to make my size. I made a sort of a small throw, but you can use really any amount of yarn. I have included as many sizes as I could think of in the pattern with the information on how many blocks, how much yarn you'll need. All of that's included, as well as information on customizing it. So if you don't see the pattern size you'd like and you can't quite figure out the customization, definitely leave me a comment, shoot me an email. I'd be happy to add that to the list. For instance, we had a request for a toddler bed, and that wasn't a size that I had usually included before, but it absolutely is included with this one. So just let me know if there is a particular size you are looking for. All right. Having trouble catching my breath today. I have a little touch of the asthma here getting to me. All right, so what else? We have, of course, the Bernat Blanket Perfect Phasing giveaway going on right now. So that beautiful yarn I was just showing you. Let me show you what the label looks like here. Bernat Blanket Perfect Phasing. There it is, nice and in focus for you. And this is a 6-weight yarn, just like your standard Bernat blanket. It's just in a new shape with a new color gradient to it. Same yardage, same weight, same super easy care. I'm really in love with this stuff. It's such a fun way to use Bernat blanket, for sure. And Bernat blanket projects are so great. They're so soft, so cozy. Everybody loves them. Even pets. My daughter's cats are obsessed with anything made out of Bernat blanket. So we just really consider it such an heirloom family yarn. Anything you make out of it is sure to be loved by the whole family. So I hope you'll give that one a try. All right, what else? We have the Basic Crochet Christmas Stocking Free Pattern and Tutorial. Got a little zhuzh on the blog, so I hope you guys will check that one out. It is a very basic Christmas stocking, so if you're looking for something last minute, you've started sort of parceling things out, I know I have, and going, oh, might be a stocking short this year. Definitely do check that out, I'd say. Short of buying one, this is probably one of the quicker ones I've seen. We've also had a designer showcase featuring Kicks and Jacks Crochet. Really gorgeous designs, not ones I'd been overly familiar with. This designer was recommended to me by another designer. I was very excited to learn more about them and see their gorgeous, gorgeous sweater designs. So definitely check that out when you get a chance. Now, I've mentioned we've got a giveaway going on for this yarn. This one will be ending soon. This one ends right at the end of the year as well. So you'll want to make sure to get in on that while you can. We've also got a book giveaway going on right now. There we go. If I hold it just like this, we won't have too much glare. This is Knit Wild by Anna Sophia Wintersall, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. My apologies if I'm not. Now, this is a knit book, so I don't have very many knitting followers, so the odds are good on this one. But let me tell you, you don't have to know how to knit to get something out of this book. The pictures inside are not only inspirational and gorgeous, well, that one's just more inspirational. Let me try and find a page. Here we are. But there are a ton of pictures in this book. It's a hardcover, so it's actually kind of hard to flip around for you guys. But do you see all these beautiful pictures lots of different size models, which we really appreciate, different ages of models. But what's neat about this book is while it's for sweaters, it is colorwork sweaters. So that means there's a ton of charts. And here's just a example page that I landed on. It looks like these are paw prints. But there's charts for so many different kinds of animals and just cool shapes, birds, everything in here, squirrels, you name it. And what were we just looking at? We were just looking at a corner-to-corner blanket in crochet. And if you've done any colorwork in crochet, whether it is corner-to-corner or intarsia or Fair Isle, you know that a pixelated chart like this can be used by just about everybody. You could even use these for cross-stitch, embroidery, you name it. Now, you might not be looking for a giant paw print, but like I say, there are dozens, if not more, charts in here. Look at this one. I love this. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely stunning. So obviously, this book, high demand for any knitter, but I don't think you need to knit to get some really great inspiration from this book. So I do recommend you check it out. You can see it's really gorgeous hardcover book right here. Really lovely. And she's got some gorgeous designs, and the sizes range from up to 2 extra small. So she goes really, really small all the way up to 4XL and are all unisex. So a wonderful book. Do check that out. Like I said, I don't normally do knitting, but this one is just so pretty. And those charts really can be used by so many different crafts. She's a wonderful designer, and I think there's lots of inspiration there. Of course, we also have another Babé Crochet hat templates giveaway going on right now. If you are somebody who likes to crochet hats, but you'd prefer them to actually fit the recipient, then I cannot recommend these enough. Especially if you like to just kind of go off on your own thing, pick a stitch and start crocheting. These will let you do that, make a hat, and know that it's always going to fit. I am a huge, huge fan, and I use them when I design. I use them when I'm just having fun crocheting hats for myself or my family, and I cannot recommend these enough. These are absolutely a buy it once, buy it for life type of tool. You can see these are nice, good, strong plastic. They're going to stand up. They're not going to wear out on you, and they're all connected by this ring. It's genuinely just such a high-quality product. I am a huge fan, and I've got a couple sets actually myself, so do highly recommend them. I keep them in a couple different places, so I have them whenever I'm ready for them. So that is our giveaways going on right now, and I've already given you the sneak peek for our Crochet Octopus coming out tomorrow. A video tutorial for all 3 of these guys will be out on Friday. So we'll finish up our week on Moogly. And then I've got some fun stuff planned out for next week as well. Of course, I'll be taking Wednesday off, but we will have new posts on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday during the holiday week next week. So I've got a couple more things to show you here before we do wrap up. There is 2 brand new yarns just come out on Yarn Inspirations I want to show off, as well as some new hooks. So I'm going to start with the hooks, actually. If you've seen me crocheting lately or watched any of my tutorials lately, you've noticed that I've been using these Susan Bates Twist and Locks. And previously these went, I believe, I don't use many of the smaller sizes. We'll say they went up to a K. That's where they stopped. There were 6 sizes going up to a K. Now they've added a second set. It's also coming with a case. You can get it, I think, probably without the case too, but I love that it comes with a case. Bigger ones. And this case even has a really nifty little pouch there, a zipper pouch on the other side. So this handle, I already left my cutter in it because there's also a cutter for these. The handle is the same size, you can see. So the handle is the same. It's not bigger, but the hooks themselves are bigger. There we go. And these are all metal. You can see the little nubs right there. Those are what goes down into the hook. Let's see if I can get that straightened out. There we go. So let's just go right down in there. You can line it up, push down, give it a little twist, and it's in. It's not coming out. And now you can use these same twist and lock hooks. And it is going to be, I think this one is the largest. This is a 10 millimeter. There's a 10 millimeter, a 9 millimeter, and an 8 millimeter. So I am very happy about this. I make a lot of those Bernat squishes, like I was just showing you guys the bear squish, and that uses an 8 millimeter, and I'd been using an old one that they don't even carry anymore. So I am very excited to be able to add those. So I wanted to share with you guys that those larger sizes are now out as well. So that's really exciting. And then the yarns. Oh my gosh. Okay. I am so excited about this one. Actually, really excited about both of them. But this one is so much fun. Let me get it out of here without causing a problem. Okay, here we are. This is brand new. This just came out. In fact, this is only available for pre-order right now. This is Bernat All-in-One blanket. Let me hold this up here. I've been calling it Bernat Blanket All-in-One. I think it's officially Bernat All-in-One blanket, but all-in-one blanket, granny, however you want to arrange those words. If you're familiar with the Red Heart All-in-One granny square, this is the same thing, but in blanket yarn. So there's one color. Here's another one. You can see it's fresh out of the box. I haven't even unwrapped them. Oh, this one's coming out. There we go. Perfect. Isn't that one fun? This one is so summery. This one just screams like spring and juiciness and all good things there. Let's see. Here's another one. Take this out of the wrapper. Look at that one. That one's going to be a lot of fun. Now, just like the other ones, you can go to the label. You don't have to try and guess what it's going to look like. So we can see on this one, it's kind of hard to see against the label with the light, but the outer round is going to be white, which we can kind of tell by looking at the skein itself. And these make great big squares. Let me show you a couple more colors here. And then I'll show you the square I made. So this one is very 70s to me. This reads very 70s. But maybe I had to live through the 70s to see that. I don't know. I don't know if my kids would see it that way. This one, some really pretty neutrals. I think this will be really beautiful worked up. Let's see. There we are. Get the glare off of there. Really pretty again. So I took this one last night and worked up this square. So you can see these are definitely not 6-inch squares. They're quite a bit bigger. I'm not sure. I'm going to say 10-inch looking at them, but I haven't actually measured it. But you can get quite a few out of each ball. Now, you're not going to get nearly as many as with the Red Heart Super Saver, of course, just a function of the size here. So one ball, it says, makes 4 squares. So you get 4 squares out of each cake of yarn. And here, like I say, is the square that I made. And this is the first time I've tried using this yarn. If you had been there the day, the afternoon, the evening that I was trying to figure out the Red Heart All-in-One Granny Square, that one, there was a learning curve. There was a lot of learning curve. And I don't know if it's because I spent the time learning how to do that one, that this one came so much easier. But this one I whipped up very quickly, especially since I was just learning. Now you'll see there's a little bit of color right there bleeding through. Again, this was my first attempt. I'd like to think that as I practice with this yarn, it'll get a little bit easier. But I wanted to show you guys how this yarn is attached. So I was talking to a representative from Yarn Inspirations about this, and they were saying that there's different ways you can try and create yarns like this, and when they try to stamp the colors next to each other, you end up with a lot of overlap. So I actually cut off that one. Here's another interesting thing about this one. There's a lot of extra yardage before you get to the next square, which is amazing because then you can use that yardage, put that tail to work, and use that tail end to sew the squares together. I love that, actually. The little extra yardage there at the end lets you sew your squares together with it. You could probably work that last round as a join as you go. It gives you that little bit extra yarn, so you can play with that. Just love that possibility right there. But I cut off that last square right before the next square started. I wanted to show you guys a little bit more about how these are joined. So here is the beginning, and each square for this one, if we look at the label, you can see it starts with the pink and ends with the purple. So let's go ahead and pull it out. Let's pull out 1 square's worth. This is actually how I recommend practicing. If you haven't used one of these yarns before where they do all the color changes for you, you'll want to, I like to just pull off 1 whole length of it, cut it right there, and then practice with that 1 length. That way it kind of gives me an idea better as I'm working with it, how much room I've got left. Like I say, this one's got a lot of extra room left to it, but I like to do that just to practice with it till I get the hang of it. So here we came to a place where the colors are joined together. So it's a really interesting join. I think they must be sewn. It's not coming apart. I will tell you that. It is not coming apart. I'm pulling on this, and I don't know why you'd pull any harder than this. If I pulled harder than it, scared to pull too hard. Yeah, no, it's not. I'm giving that I'm giving that my all, just about. And it is not coming apart. I know I can break, the yarn itself if I give it my all, so I don't want to give it my all. But yeah, no, it is not coming apart. So it is a really interesting join. I think some people will like it. I think some people probably won't like it, and that's okay. You can still make granny squares the old-fashioned way by buying 5 different colors of yarn or however many different colors you want. But this one is a little different. Again, a little bit of a learning curve, but I think it's a lot easier for me, at least maybe because I've had the practice with the other one. And it is a lot of fun. Lots of really pretty colors. Colors I have here in front of me don't really go together, but there are definitely some coordinating ones up on the website. And this yarn does not officially, you're getting an early peek. This yarn does not officially debut until the 20th. However, since they have sort of let the cat out of the bag, I am authorized to let you know that Yarn Inspirations is now offering free shipping on orders of 4 or more of this yarn. So if you pre-order before Friday, you can get free shipping when you order 4 of these. And with 4 of these, that means you can make, that would be 16 squares. So these are pretty big squares. So 16 of those squares is going to give you a decent sized project, at the very least a baby blanket, if not something a little bigger. So you could do a baby blanket, probably a lap blanket, a wheelchair blanket. Those are a really good size. And it is just a really fun way to make really beautiful projects without having to fuss about doing the color changes. And there's always, to me, a little bit of color bleed through anyway from row to row. So I don't think, that doesn't bother me, but if you're somebody where that's definitely going to bother you, then you are probably going to want to buy the separate colors. But if you like to just kind of relax and stitch and enjoy the yarn, then I think this one is another really fun alternative. And of course, I've got lots of ideas for things you can make with squares on Moogly, so do check that out. And check out that new yarn. Like I say, it's quite the deal. You can get it right now. Pre-order before Friday. Nothing at this point is going to arrive before Christmas. Just the nature of shipping. But you'll have a little treat to work on, over the new year, hopefully. So I hope you guys will check that out. The other new yarn, let me put this box down, pull this box up. This one I am super excited about as well. And this one, of course, I picked up the one that wanted to come apart in the box. Here we are. Here we are. Karen Simply Me. Let me find that label. Get that to focus. Isn't that pretty? Karen Simply Me. Now, look at that yarn. Let me pull up the other orange here. And can I just point out how amazing it is that there's a yellow and an orange in this yarn line? It is pretty rare these days to get a yarn to debut with so many great colors. Look at that. Can you see that? So you can see it is a pretty tight twist to this yarn. You can see the twist built right in there. That tells me it's probably going to be kind of springy. Since this orange one really wants to come apart on me, oh, it's not. It's not too springy. This one doesn't have much give. That's interesting. So this will hold its shape then really, really well. So this one is made with, first of all, it's a 5. It is a bulky weight 5 yarn, and it is 62% acrylic, 20% nylon, and 18% wool. So this is going to have a little bit of that wool look without having the itchiness or scratchiness of wool, and it's still going to be pretty easy care. Now, the nylon, I think, is what's keeping it super strong. Nylon is a wonderful addition to yarn because it really gives it so much strength and integrity. And yes, I think this is going to be really gorgeous. Let me make sure. Yep, machine wash and dryable. So we love that. A wool machine that you can machine wash and dry. Easy care. It doesn't itch. I tend to be one of those people who can be real sensitive to wool, especially on the neck. It's kind of that little test. And I can just barely feel that there's wool in there. So I think this is, and I can't feel it all with my hands. So I think this is a really lovely yarn, and I am super excited. I've already got a project in mind for it. I'll be using some of this gorgeous cream, if it all works out. And then, of course, we've got a really great gray neutral here as well. And it looks like they also sent me a pink and sort of an orange, another orange. My gosh. This one is called, let's see, Ruby. So It does look a lot redder in person. On camera, it's looking a lot more orange than it does in person, but you can see, look at that. What a great range. Let me try and bring the pink up here too. Do I have enough fingers to hold them all up at once? There we are. Isn't that fun? Isn't that just looks, talk about juicy. My gosh. That just screams citrus. It could be that it's December in the Midwest and I need some sunshine, but these are looking very appealing right now. So definitely check that out. Like I say, it's a great mix of fibers. That nylon's going to keep it strong. That wool is just going to give it that little extra elevated look. And the acrylic's going to make it easy care. So we love that. Absolutely love it. So those are the new things that are on Yarn Inspirations that I want you guys to check out. I'm sure there's lots of other cool stuff too. Tons of new patterns. They're up over 11,000 free patterns now. So definitely check those out as well. And now I will tell you about the lives that I have lined up. I will be going live tomorrow, December 19th at 11 a.m. for TikTok, for the Yarn Inspirations TikTok page. So if you are on TikTok and you want to head over to the Yarn Inspirations TikTok page, 11 a.m. tomorrow, I will be going over some of our best patterns of the year. Then, I've mentioned before, on December 31st, I will be back again at 11 a.m. Central to talk about Moogly Crochet Along 2025, right here, wherever you're watching me right now. And then, January 8th, I have scheduled a TikTok live on the Yarn Inspirations TikTok page again for crochet techniques for a new year. So we'll be going over some new crochet techniques. Well, they might be new to you, they might be old to you, but they're a little bit more unusual, we'll say. So that's what that one will be about. But that is it for today. I can't believe we've reached the end of the year already, and the next time I will be back with you guys, it will be New Year's Eve. 2024 has gone by as quickly as ever. It seems every year just speeds up a little bit more. But I just want to take a moment to thank you all so much for being here with me throughout the year and past years. And hopefully going into the future, I'm going to keep designing and crocheting and making tutorial videos. And I still want to continue to hear from you. I've had a chance to put my ideas out for over 10 years now. If you've got requests and ideas, definitely let me know. I love to hear your feedback and know how we can improve and what sort of designs you're looking for. So in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful, safe, happy holiday season and that you all keep on stitching. And I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.